What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Horror and Gore Horror Movie Podcast. Of course, it's one half of your host, Dakota, here with my co-host, Lyndsey.
Hello, Dakota. What's your favorite scary movie? I can officially say Scream is one of mine after this week. We'll get into that though.
Yes. But, Lyndsey, how you doing this week?
I'm great. I had a really fun week hanging out with you and the guys, and I'm excited to talk about some movies this week.
Hell yeah. So if you guys are a little bit of context for what Lindsay's talking about right now, we're still doing the TikTok lives every week. I'm going to try to reduce them down to not going live on my work days because I'm getting really tired now going into work. So we're gonna try to do those 3 days a week. But the past couple of nights has been really fun. We
It has
we
been.
did. I love it. I love it. The little emoji game we did the other night. So if you guys don't know, it was really late in the night. I was kind of tired a little bit. Didn't want to make too much noise, so I just started putting like emojis in the chat. And then Colby and them were like, "Why not just like do a Gason game with the emojis?" The first one I really got you guys with the whole Bumblebee thing.
You did. He
And
was making movie titles out of emojis, to be clear.
then the last one I got you guys with the companion.
Yes.
I was like, the whole time you guys were like, robot, knife, dick. And someone's like, a robot cutting the dick with a knife. I'm like, nope, not that. Then I'm like, how do I get them? I'm like, if they're not picking this up right now.
I wish I could remember some of the things we were guessing. It was hilarious though.
And then I'm like, actress, and you guys, what the fuck you guys mean actress? Then I'm like, blueberry pie. Then I think it was Chef. He's like, blueberry pie. Then Kobe's like, oh, it's companion.
I guessed American Pie.
I didn't even hear you with American Pie
Yeah.
reference. Wait. Oh yeah, when you said American, not but pie.
Yeah, because you did an American flag and a pie. So I was
I was,
like,
I was just
American
started.
pie.
I started thinking of stuff that I'm like last one. I'm like, I got to have this one very locked in. I gotta be locked in for this one. I'm like, I gotta think of companion because of course I was seeing companion the day during that day. I'm like, I gotta trick them with this one. I got you guys good with that one. Let's go.
You did.
But let's get right to the episode. But what have you watched this week?
What have I watched this week? I watched 8 of my 10 that I set out to watch last week. I watched The Wild Robot. I actually watched that 2 or 3 times. I watched the first Scream movie. I watched The Blackwell Ghost parts 2 through 6. I watched Terrifier 3. I watched Revenge twice and loved it. And I watched Joker's Wild. That's my list.
Okay. So what I have watched this week is I went through the Hatchet franchise.
You did.
If you guys know, if you watched the first episode, um, Ian and Kobe were shocked. I didn't see that, so I went through the whole franchise. Love that franchise a lot now. Need Hatchet 5, Adam Green, if you're listening. Then I watched Den of Thieves 2. Love that movie. Not as good as the first one. Still loved it though. Then I watched Round the Decay, a screener, which it wasn't that bad. You could definitely tell that the effects weren't done. So I kind of want to see a full finished product of that. Then of course I watched Terrifier 3 because we had a watch party with Kobe, Ian, and the whole gang in the Discord of the House of Ghouls podcast. Then I watched Heretic, which is one of my movies from the top of my 10 list. Then I watched Companion, which I fucking love that movie. I might watch it again when it releases on digital. But with that being said, let's get to movie news for this week. So we got a whole bunch of movie news, really good movie news. So let's start off with Final Destination Bloodlines. So we got a little teaser today. A little teaser, it's just like a little video of like a fan going around, and I forgot what the caption said. But all I think is this. At first, I was I don't know what I was thinking. I thought it was the propeller on the boat. I'm like, oh shit,
Oh,
because I just seen it, like one of the deaths in Hatchet was a propeller on the boat. Someone getting killed for that. So I'm like, oh, I kind of already know this, but it's a fan. I'm like, there's so many ways they can go with this, with a fan death. But Lyndsey, did you see this?
the no, I didn't. I stay away from trailers and teasers usually, so I didn't.
Okay. Then our next teaser, we got Mega 2.0. Good grief. That's all I'm gonna say. I watched this thing. I told Colby in. Colby texted me and he's like, "Oh, this thing makes me mad." I'm like, "Okay, I gotta definitely go see this now." This thing makes me want to walk into a front of a movie vehicle.
Oh no.
It's that bad. I'm like, oh,
I was
oh
not
I,
expecting that.
I'm like, I need some footage, please. I'm like,
Jesus Christ.
it's. Have you seen the first Megan?
I haven't. I haven't seen it.
Oh,
Let's add it to my list, maybe?
oh, I can't wait for you to watch that one. Watch the unrated version. Watch the rated R. Don't watch the PG-13.
Got it.
Rated R's rated R is not that bad, which was the original tension for them when they released the first Megan to release the rated R. Then when they released the first trailer, it was so hyped up that Blumhouse is like, let's dumb it down to PG-13 because we can get the younger audience into the theater to watch this. So I'm really just hoping that they make the second one rated R set PG-13, which this trailer's just, I can't stop thinking. Poster's not bad. Teaser trailer is technically just of her dancing. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? No new footage, no nothing. And the dog don't even look that good in it. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
It's a
That's
letdown.
yeah, it's a letdown. I hope the movie's good after this. Like, I'm really disappointed now. I'm like, is the sequel gonna be bad?
But maybe just like not waste your time on it then?
Yeah. Don't watch this teaser trailer. If you guys have, I'm sorry. If you feel how I feel, let me know in the comments. Um, but we got some Scream 7 news, which I don't know what the fuck is happening with this film. First of all, but a little context. I'm not going to the full Scream 7 news. No, you're good. I'm not going to go into the full news because um Lyndsey has only seen the first one. She hasn't seen the others. So there's one piece of news that is connected to the first one, and that is Mr. Matthew Lillard is returning to Scream 7. Which, first of all, Lyndsey, it's been so many years. People think, is Stu still alive? Do you think Stu survived that TV and crashed on his face?
I believe that anything is possible in the movie world. So we'll see. That's how I feel about it.
So there's two things.
Okay.
I th- okay, a little backstory. This is not going to spoil Scream 3 for you, but I'm gonna give you the original concept of Scream 3. So Scream 3, the original guy over everything in Scream 3 and like connected to Scream 2, was Stu. He was supposed to be alive in prison, connecting all the pieces together because he was still mad at Sydney, not only for killing Billy, but also putting him in prison. So why they changed this up is because of Columbine. When that happened,
Hmm.
they thought it was going to be too connected to that a little bit because, of course, like one person, the effects of something, and he just goes along to a killing spree. So they dumped it back, took that out, and they put the whole new plot synopsis and stuff. And that's why a lot of people don't like Scream 3 because it's
Gotcha.
something different than what they originally intended, which is kind of what this is right now with Scream 7. Scream 7 originally was supposed to be, once you get to the 5 and 6, you will see. Um, there was supposed to be a different actress in this. Actresses, like a whole bunch of cast. It's technically it was supposed to be the end of the trilogy for 5, 6, and 7,
Hmm.
but something happened, which we will explain to you later on once you after you watch Scream 6. What happened, but they have rewrote the like. I think this is their third director now with the movie. Like, the original directors of 5 and 6 didn't want to come back because they were filming Abigail at the time. Which, Lindsay, if you haven't seen Abigail, I would highly recommend that you see that one. It's really good. And
Is
then
that another creepy doll?
no, it's a vampire movie.
Oh, okay. Either
Um,
way, I love it.
I'm not. I'm just gonna say vampire movie. I'm not going to tell you who's the vampire. If you haven't
Okay.
watched the trailer, do not watch the trailer.
Okay, just go
Um,
into it blind. Love
yeah,
it.
just go into it. Then Christopher Landon was attached to direct it because that was their second option. And of course, this is when all the stuff started to happen. And after that, Christopher Landon's like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like all this stuff is going down. I want that out of the project. So he's out. Then the original writer, Kevin Williamson, hops in and is like, oh yeah, I could direct this because we're bringing some characters back. I wrote this franchise. I know the origin of this franchise. And technically, if this is the final movie, I want to end it on my own terms.
Okay.
Which there's rumors that there could be an 8, but we're not 100% sure on that right now. But with this coming back, I either think that one, Stu is still alive and somehow he's connected into this, or two, this is Stu's ghost and it's haunting Sydney.
Okay.
And you will figure out later with this other news how this could all be connected. But I don't know if I'm still not hyped for this movie. I don't know what this movie's going to be. It looks like it's going to be a total train wreck. But let's get right to our fourth piece of news, which is The Faculty. It's going to be remake. Have you seen The Faculty?
I have not.
Ooh, it's really good. It stars Josh Hartnett, Jordania Brewster, Elijah Wood. It's about aliens.
Okay.
It's
I'm
a
into it.
so it's a '90s movie. It's Josh Hartnett's first movie ever.
I love him, so
So they're remaking this, which it's a little bit weird because I think that movie is set for the '90s. I don't know if you could remake it for the 2020s right now, but Miramax is doing it, which no, I think Dimension Films did the original. I think Miramax didn't do it, so it's intriguing to see how they're going to do this story now, who they're going to bring in to um, kind of like replace these actors for these new characters. Which, to be honest, they should just have done a sequel with them older, which would kind of be very interesting instead of a remake. But with that being said, let's go to movie news number 5. Mr. Damien Leone has confirmed that, first of all, Terrifier 4 is being made. But his birthday was the other day, and to give us a little present on his birthday, for us showing him so much love on his birthday, is that he's saying that he's writing the script right now for Terrifier 4. But I got some good news. I got some bad news. Good news is he's finally going to give us the origin of Art the Clown that we always wanted, which I'm really excited for to know where Art is and how Art his origin. Like, if you guys have seen the short films that Damien made, um, hopefully it's connected that way. But this is supposed to be the final movie, which is very disappointing a little bit. Which it's weird because with discussive film, he kind of said he was going to do number 5. So I don't know if this is him just trying to get everything in one movie, or if this is him thinking that he's got a fourth movie. And by the time if he gets to the end of that script, he's like, "Oh, maybe I need to make a fifth one." But I don't know. He's just confirmed that this is the fourth one. That might change though, because of course this is supposed to be releasing probably October of next year. So we got plenty of time and him to make a decision on that. But Lindsay, how do you feel about Terrifier 4 being made?
Well, I'm just going to keep it real with you, Dakota. I'm a little disappointed that I have to watch another one of these movies with you guys. No
I
disrespect.
which we will talk
Which
about
we'll
that,
we'll talk about that.
but for our final piece of news, which is another trailer. Like Lindsay says, she don't watch trailers, so I haven't seen the full trailer, but I've seen snippets of it. Of course, we got the full Sinners trailer, and this is the Ryan Coogler movie with Michael B. Jordan, vampires, by the way, which one they showed the vampires in the movie. Like I said last week, they were going to, which are not that bad, but I'm not going to say who the vampires are because that is actually the spoiler of the whole trailer, which I kind of see. But of course, when you go on the social media, they're like, "Here's the vampire who's the actor or actress is playing it." I'm like, "Thank you for that." But with that being said, I'm still excited for this movie either way. But let's get into our main topic of this week, which Lindsay has watched the whole Terrifier trilogy technically right now, guys. Um, so for this episode, um, I'm gonna give her the floor. She's mostly gonna be talking about her thoughts about this whole entire trilogy, and just about all of that. But I will put some of my thoughts in there also about this trilogy. But Lindsay, I will let you have the floor, and you talk about Art the Clown and the Terrifier trilogy.
Okay, so I've had a few days to think about all of this, and I really wanted to go into this trying to find something positive to talk about, right? Blood and guts are not my thing. Um, and the thing that I came up with is I'm amazed at the artistry that's at play here. Like the people who made this movie that made these things so disgusting and so real looking that it physically made me sick. Like, I mean, I didn't get sick, let's be clear, but like to have that kind of a talent is amazing to me. I mean, I'm an artist and I can make things, but I've never been able to make things look realistic in any sort of way. So that's my takeaway from that. And I think as the more movies I watch, I'm learning that it's not the blood and guts that really bother me. It's more of when things are brutal, when it's violent, when it's drawn out. But yeah, the actual making of the movie, like that is all really intriguing to me right now. And that's how I'm going into all of these slasher movies that you guys are having me watch. So on that end of things, like I'm having a good time with it. On the other end of things, I was miserable the entire movie. I was so nervous and worked up, and I cried live on the internet with our friends all watching and giggling. So, yeah, it was a great time.
So if you had ranked the trilogy, how would you rank it?
Colby's already mad. You're already mad. I gave them 1 star each, and that's my rating. If I were to rate it based on someone else's opinion, what's the point in me rating it, right? So like
No,
based
but how
on
would
what I
you
like.
how would you rank it though? Like 3, 2, 1. Like if you had to
Oh,
rank the
okay.
movies.
3 was definitely the worst for me, because it was full of something that I have an extreme phobia of. That I don't even want to say the word. Um, so that was the worst for me. I feel like 2 was the least uh terrifying for me or like the one I enjoyed the most. So I guess 2, 1, 3 would be my order.
Okay. So a lot of people like I respect you for your opinion about that. A lot of people put that. So mine is 3, 2, 1.
Mm-hmm.
But I understand you where you have your phobia,
Right.
where that could be at the bottom. Um, Here's a good question for you. You got
Hit me with it.
the three the three most impactful scenes in these movies are first is the hacksaw scene,
Mm-hmm.
second in the second movie is the bedroom scene, and the third is technically everyone it's either two, but I'm going to do the shower scene.
Mm-hmm.
If you had to rank those from worst to best, which one is like your favorite to like least favorite?
without a doubt, the worst by far, by a mile for me was the hacksaw scene. The other two, I mean, they weren't fun for me to watch, but I watched them and it wasn't like, yeah, that the hacksaw scene for me was like, I don't know if I'm gonna make it through the rest of these movies. That
So
was
for
rough.
me, when I say worst is like I like they're all creative. Damien always puts a one scene in his movie, and he has always said that for his Terrifier movies. And for my rank, if I did it, the
Hmm.
worst would be the hacksaw scene. I think it's good and creative, but I think it's so overthrown now into horror movies. It's like I already knew that. Two would be the shower scene. I think it's creative. I think it's long. I think it's has some humor in it.
Hmm.
But the first one is the bedroom scene. One, because it's based off a real murder, which it's kind of not disturbing to think that actually happened to somebody,
Hmm.
but it's just the I think it's the bleach and the salt that get me because he just like goes away, then he goes back and he's like bleach, salt, rub her right in.
And of course, you guys were all watching me watch all of these movies, so I was getting a little bit of a warning, I guess, more so than other people would, because you and Colby were like, "Okay, Lyndsey, this is getting ready to get bad," so I could kind of brace myself. But it was, yeah, that was a rough time for me. I did learn. I mentioned that I'm learning blood and guts aren't the thing, but I did learn that I think this movie is my max. Like, I can't handle any more than that. So, when it comes to movie suggestions from you or the guys or anybody else, like, you all know now that that is I can't do any worse than that. I can't handle it.
I think there's one more movie that's worse for me than that. Maybe one, but this is like the peak of like the most brutal I've ever seen a slasher movie.
Like, I have like heart palpitations right now just like thinking about this.
So let's talk about Art the Clown. What are your thoughts on just Art the Clown as a whole? Just him as a character, besides like his brutal murders and stuff.
Well, I think he's disgusting, but I really enjoy crocheting him. That's one thing I made this week was the Art the Clown in the Santa suit. I think he's visually fun. I mean, he's a clown. Uh, I think everybody kind of loves to hate clowns at this point in time. Like they're a popular thing, but they're creepy and yeah. I don't everybody says like he's funny. I don't necessarily see like the humor, but I there may be like a little bit of charm there that I see. I'll call it that.
Can I tell you where I think the humor is for me?
What?
Okay, so one, it's when he's laughing. He just like laughing at everything. Two, three is like he's like when Colby and me told you he's the funniest in three. Two examples why. One, he kills the whole family in three right at the beginning. Then he washes the plate of after he eats the cookies.
But see, that's just like disgusting to me. I don't find that funny. It's just like, ooh,
Then
creepy.
then two, right before he kills the couple in the shower scene. I was thinking, what the fuck in my mind when I saw this. This dude literally goes to the bathroom, washes his hands. Like his gloves are already like bloody and stuff, but he just washes his hands right before he just like murks the couple in the shower. And it's just the little comedic things. And you gotta tell me this is funny when he slaps Sienna in the back of the head.
Sure. I mean, my opinion's not going to change. I respect it and I respect your opinion. It's not my thing.
So ooh, there's a one character from Terrifier 2 I gotta mention. How do you feel about the mom? How do you feel about Sienna Johnson's mom?
I don't have feelings about her, I guess.
I
How do you
think
feel?
I hate her. I absolutely hate her. She goes around. Her kids are trying to tell her that there's a maniac clown out there trying to kill them. All she does is drink, blame them for their father. Um, how do I say this? Ending his own life,
Hmm.
She blames them for that, and she just calls them mean names and everything, which she gets her dues. Which, how do you feel about mashed potatoes now?
Oh, that's another thing. So far this week, I have not been able to eat anything mushy. Everything has had to be crunchy for me because, like, I just keep thinking about all the squishiness in that movie. And mashed potatoes were one of my favorite foods, and I've tried to eat them twice, and I get like two bites in, and I'm just like, okay, I just need a little bit of a break, I think. So thank you
I
for that.
I was not expecting the mashed potato scene though. When I came up and he's like, he breaks the mashed potatoes. I'm like, oh, it's just some mashed potatoes. And he's like, "Grr." I'm like, oh, well, that's just a good Thanksgiving dinner right there. Mashed potatoes straight to the face.
Oh man. Rough time for me.
So, speaking of our protagonist, I know she ends up in 2 and 3. She's in only those two films. How do you feel about Sienna Shaw? Do you like her character as a whole in this movie? Do you think she's a good final girl? How does she stack up with technically like Laurie Strode, Sidney Prescott, and all of them?
Well, I will get to that later. I love Sydney Prescott. She's like my forever crush now. Like I'm gonna be in love with her for the rest of my life. So no, she's not above her. I think I like her character, I guess I would say.
So we don't get a lot of him. How do you feel about Jonathan Shaw, the little brother?
Mm, I feel sorry for him, I guess, would be how I would say it. I don't know. I just like, I'm just uncomfortable the whole movie, Dakota. I don't know how to like explain. Like, I don't have any emotions towards these people because I was just like waiting for the next thing to happen.
So I like Sienna as a character. I think Lauren Lavera does a great job playing this character, especially with Damien writing the script. And I think this is like before this movie, a lot of people didn't know who Lauren Lavera was. I think this is the kind of like Jamie Lee Curtis. Um, even though she don't like playing horror movies, it blows my mind that Laurie Strode is the reason she got her fame for that. Nev Campbell is known for Sidney Prescott. That's how she
Hmm.
got it. And I think this for Lauren Lavera, this is how she got her stardom into Hollywood and getting more movies is by playing Sienna Shaw. Because especially the second movie. So I don't know if you knew this, but when the second movie came out, it was only
Hmm.
into like probably 100 theaters. It was limited just for a whole.
Okay.
It's supposed to be 3 day weekend. That's it. And they earned a whole bunch of money. And they're like, let's extend this thing. And they kept extending it all the way till Halloween. So it was supposed to be the 6th, 7th, and 8th. I think that was it, and ninth probably, and that was supposed to be it. But then it turned from that to all the way to Halloween. Earned I think $14 million on a 200,000 $200,000 budget. So
Wow.
it was even in the millions yet. And it's impressive to see a little bit what Damien and his team has done, especially with the first two Terrifiers, with being under $1 million.
Hmm.
Especially you see how brutal number two is. And then with number three, because the success got so much, he got $2 million for that one. So the budget was ramped up. This is why David Howard Thornton, the design of Art the Clown, I don't know if you noticed, it looks a little bit better in the third.
Hmm.
They approved that. And for the makeup effects for the first two, Damien Leone has done the effects on the first two movies by himself.
Gotcha.
But he took his time with those two movies. But I think it's Cineverse, if I'm not wrong, or just the production studio as a whole, wanted this movie out quick. So it can get that frame time in like people's minds of like, oh, there's the next movie, let's bring it out right now. So with that, he had to hire a production team, a makeup team. So even though he had a makeup team, he still got his hands in there a little bit. So I think even though this one is brutal, I think that's why because like something you said in the live, which I kind of took notice to. In number three, the kills are spaced out longer than the other
Yes,
movies.
I wanted to bring that up. I felt like three, I had more time in between having to panic. Like, I got, like, there was more dialogue, there was more story to it, or maybe there wasn't more story, but I felt like there was on my end of things. Like, I had more time to breathe.
So there
Yeah.
was more story. So we had so many questions, like for us as fans of Terrifier, because you just watched all three movies at once.
Yeah.
Us, we watched one and two, and we got questions left off at two, and it's like Damien had to put answer the questions in there of like, what is the little pale girl? Which I wonder if you know who it is. If not, I can explain to you how what the little pale girl is later on.
Hmm.
Um, but Art the Clown, like how is Sienna's dad involved in this? Which I got a little theory about that one also. And just as Sienna, why is like Sienna and Jonathan the ones that Art is going after? And he tried to explain that, but we got like introduced to new characters like Gabby, the uncle, the aunt, which I think Gabby will be a bigger part in number four, especially how number four ended. But oh, you said you was going to say something. What you said you was going to say. I forgot what you were going to say. But let's just get right into it. What? Oh yeah, what did you think is going to happen in number four? Like your perspective of how number three ended.
I have no idea, Dakota. No idea. But I would
Okay,
love to hear what you think is going to happen.
so first of all, my theories are number three.
Hmm.
So you know how in the movie when Sienna and her dad, she's doing the flashback scenes,
Yes.
and which her dad's name was Michael, which is iconic because the guy who's playing him. Have you seen The Lost Boys?
Yes, of course.
That's Michael from The Lost Boys.
Hmm.
So it's ironic that his names are Michael in both of them. But when they hold the paper and they show them like Sienna as Lauren Rivera and she looks back and there's this monster making the like armor and like the Mother Mary statue is looking at him and moving him and making sure like he's out working.
Hmm.
I'm thinking that could be two things. That could be Sienna's dad and he's making the armor for her because
Okay.
where she is supposed to be like this warrior. Or two, which is really going to be shocking if it's, but we kind of predicted if Art's actually the dad the whole entire time.
Oh.
And what I think Jonathan and Sienna is gone after is one, they think a lot of like religious stuff is in this.
Hmm.
So technically, so you see how when Vicky told Santa like you're you're strong. This is why they chose you.
Yes.
A lot of people are thinking if she is the second coming, like how Jesus was,
Yes.
and Art's the devil,
Okay.
or this is how the little pale girl comes in. So you know how the little pale girl doesn't show up in number three
Right.
because if you remember, I don't know which movie they talk about a girl getting murdered near the amusement park for the Terrifier amusement park.
Hmm.
People, a lot of people are wondering if, because in the first one, Art is not supernatural. He's a straight normal person. By the
Right.
end of number one, he gets his superpowers. People are wondering if Art killed the girl before the first movie, and the demon or the devil attached itself to the little pale girl and
Could
followed
she
Art
be his
around.
first kill?
That could be it. Also, I'm wondering that too, um, which would be very interesting if it is, because I'm wondering if that's how the dad brains into this. Because I'm wondering if it got bothered him so much where he actually ended his own life.
Got haunted by you?
Yeah, and the little pale girl, like she's not there anymore. So Vicky, why just don't go in Vicky? Vicky technically killed herself when she slit her wrist in the bathtub.
Yes.
So just possess Vicky, and that's how. Because without the person, little pale girl Vicky being powered, Art's never magical. Without that, Art is a normal person. So by the end of number 3, Art's a normal person again. So when Sienna stabs him, he is bleeding out until unless if that demon or the devil finds another person to possess to give that power to Art. Which one, which if they do pick up like how they did with the other movies, um, especially like 1 and 2, if they pick up 4, either he's going to kill both of those people on the bus, right? Or
Hmm.
I'm thinking either one of them could be possessed by the demon, but I'm thinking the one who's really going to get possessed, which really brings Sienna. I think this is how they're going to get Sienna. I think it won't be Jonathan. I'm thinking Jonathan's dead.
Okay.
I'm thinking if Jonathan's dead, they already tried Jonathan, but they couldn't get her. It's Gabby. What about if they possess Gabby? And of course, Sienna's got to kill the person that's possessed, so it's going to wear on Sienna that she has to kill her own niece, or no, her own cousin.
Yeah.
So to take over the power, so it's like a battle. So that's when you got like her like the second coming versus the devil, which either Art's the devil, or we find out there's a bigger power being made because Gabby does go down to hell. That's where she goes in the third one. So we
Hmm.
know the fourth one's going to be in hell. So either
Yes.
Art's the devil, or there's like I said, there's a bigger play, and we're going to actually see the devil. Which it's going to be interesting if they do bring the devil into this to see who they cast. Which one person I really hope they do is kind of Richard Brake. I think Richard Brake would really play a good devil character.
I think it would be interesting if they brought in a devil because then that would be introducing another huge main character. Like, if there's a devil in this movie, like, that's going to be a main focal point, obviously. So that would take a lot of the spotlight off of Art, I feel like. That would be interesting.
Because this is why I'm going with.
Hmm.
Damien said where I told you he confirmed with Disgust in Film that he has number 5. What about if, like I told you, he's writing the script and he's trying to get everything because he said he's always had a story when he first started Terrifier 1,
Hmm.
how he's going to end the franchise, but he has so many lists of creative kills he wants to get to.
Hmm.
What about if he can't get all the kills he wants to with a story plot by the time he ends this fourth one? And what about if he's just like, oh yeah, I'm going to end it, but give us like a little surprise by the end of the movie? Be like, oh yeah, surprise! I kind of just got fooled you guys the whole entire time, and we're actually going to get a 5 right at the end to end this whole franchise off, which would be very interesting. But my theories are that I think Jonathan's dead. I think because everyone's like, oh yeah, they didn't show his death off screen. I think we were going to get his death scene in number 4, which I think's going to be. I think that's the scene. There's always the scene. I think the scene that's going to be with that movie is Jonathan's death. I think Damien's going to make that thing the brutalest thing we have ever seen
I could see that.
because especially, um,
I don't know if I could see that, but.
yeah, but I think that's going to be the brutal because the aftermath of what they showed in 3.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Which I'm just excited for this franchise as a whole. And if this is the final one, I'm ready to just enjoy it. It's sad for it to go, but I think I think Damien wants to do other projects.
I was gonna say like that's just gonna leave uh, room for the next big thing that he does. So
And like his producer Michael Levy, um, he has just had a movie called Stream that came out that he directed last year,
mhm.
and he wants to continue a franchise for that. So One, he either could direct this franchise out and Damon could do the production design or like the makeup, everything, right?
Hmm.
Or for them to flop back and forward. What about if you don't give Damien some of those movies to direct, and you can make a little franchise out and just continue some, or make another character? Because I know he's got a movie coming up with Sam Raimi's production team, Ghost House, which I kind of want to see what that is, but I think this is not the end of Damien Leone. I think we're going to get more moves after him. I think this is just
Absolutely.
the beginning of
Yeah.
this. And I'm not shocked if we don't see Art down the road again.
That would be interesting, like having art pop up in different places, different, not just Terrifier movies.
That, or what about if Damien's just like, it takes like, it's like 5 or 7 years, and Damien's like, what about if I just want to make another movie?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like he could just pop in. You never know.
True. Um, but I think, is that about it for you for talking about the Terrifier franchise?
I just want to end it by saying that I meant no disrespect by any of my negative comments about it. I had a lot of fun watching them with my friends, and I'm glad that my initiation into this horror talk community is over now. I've watched those three movies. I'm in now. Like you guys can't get rid of me. So yeah, that was all I wanted to say about it, I guess.
So, guys, with that being said, let's go end with our last I would not say topic, but segment before we go, which is the
Mhm.
10 movies that we're gonna be watching this coming up week. So, Lindsay, I'll let you go first.
Okay. Well, first I'm going to talk about some of the movies that I watched last week because those contribute to the movies that I'm going to watch next week. Um, I obviously watched the first Scream movie. I love Sydney Prescott. Forever girl crush. Like I am in love with this woman. Um, I was really young when this movie came out, but she was like every teenage girl that I looked up to at the time, just like cool girl. I mean, not cool girl, but like just I don't know, her whole vibe. I just love her. Um I hated the boys immediately in this movie. Didn't trust them immediately. Uh I loved that this movie wasn't like overly bloody, but like it was intentional with like what you did see and it I don't know, it just wasn't disgusting. So I loved it. Um, so yeah, this week I want to watch the rest of the Scream movies. Those are my new what are there six of them, right? So
So,
that's
two,
five.
two, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 5 more.
Okay.
So, with the Scream, how did you feel about the opening kill being Drew Barrymore?
I was not expecting that. And that honestly blew my mind because like this movie came out 30 years ago. So it's not like I haven't had time to have it spoiled for me. You know, I mean, people talk about it all the time, especially my friends. Like, you guys all talk about this movie. I wasn't expecting like Drew Barrymore to be dead right away. I thought she was going to be in the whole movie. So yeah, that was wild to me. Um, I love her, so I was a little disappointed.
So, Wes Craven, when he signed this onto this,
uh,
he wanted Drew Barrymore to be Sidney Prescott. He's like, I'd only do
oh,
this
okay.
if she can be Sidney Prescott. And he signed it, and then the studio was like, let's negotiate with you. I know you already signed, but let's bring somebody in that's not known to be Sidney, and you can work with her and try to like build Nev up to be a good character. But what about if we just shock everybody and make it look like Drew Barrymore's gonna be the girl that goes throughout the
Yeah,
film, kind of like how Laurie Strode is with Halloween, and let's just
yeah,
kill her off to just surprise everyone.
right. I mean, you
Well,
meet her very first beginning of the movie, like, and you think this movie's gonna be about this girl. Sure wasn't. So yeah, that was fun. I really, really loved it. And another thing I really loved about the movie was how many other movies are referenced throughout. Like that was fun. There were like over 20 movies referenced. So that was fun for me too. So yeah, those five movies would be my list. And then I also watched The Blackwell Ghost this week. Um, I wanted to give up on it so bad. The first three movies were they were great, and you should definitely check them out. But they were just a little slow for my taste. I wanted more, and oh my gosh, does that end up happening? So if you are starting the Blackwell Ghost and you're thinking like maybe I don't want to stick this out, please do because it's so good. I'm watching 7 and 8 tonight or this week sometime. Those two are on my list as well.
So that's 7 so far. If you had 3 more, what would you pick for
Three
this week?
more. I don't really have any that jump out, so maybe I would like let you, Colby, and Ian each pick one or something.
I can. Okay, let me go through mine. And I can throw 3 out to you and see if
Okay,
you like
yeah,
them.
let's do that.
So I only got to one this week. I got to Heretic,
One
which
on your list. You watched other
yeah,
movies.
I watched other movies, but one on my 10. I watched Heretic, which I really love that movie. I wish I saw this in theater so bad. It's so good. Um, what the hell? I don't know how that
What?
happened.
If you're watching the video, I don't know what just happened, but
I don't know how that happened either, but okay. But I love it. Maybe they like Heretic too. We never know.
yeah, thumbs up to that.
Um, but Heretic is good. I think after watching that, so companion, I think oh, what was it? What's her name? Sophie Thatcher is my new celebrity crush now. Um, she's really good at that movie. Oh, Hugh Grant. Even though Hugh Grant's not that great of a person, oh, he plays a good villain in this. Um, I didn't even know Topher Grace was in this. Where is Topher Grace from? He's from. Where is he from? That '70s show,
Yes. Eric Foreman.
and he's also Eddie Brock in Spider-Man 3. That's why I remember him from as Eddie
I
Brock in
love
Spider-Man
that
3.
70s show. Love it.
Um, but a really good movie. I would recommend if you guys haven't seen it yet. I think it's, to be honest, I think it's A24's best horror movie ever. Like I haven't seen Hereditary in them, but I'm putting it up there with that. It's 5 out of 5 for me. I
Hereditary is so good.
um I can't I can't wait to watch this. But Heretic is that's all I've been thinking about. That companion, those two movies are so good. But if I had to pick one for this week, I got my hype back. I am going to do. I'm gonna go through all of them, the last 3, but I'm gonna put down Final Destination 3 on my throwing that in there for the one movie for
Finally,
this week. Yes, that little fan for that teaser got me really
got you
hyped.
pumped up.
Yeah, and I kind of want to watch them because just in case if they do drop a trailer this week,
Hmm.
just in case if they didn't throw anything in there from the other those last 3, but 3 more that I would throw at you real quick. Um, let's think. Um, oh, why just don't start the Paranormal Activity movies?
Okay, yeah, let's do that. I haven't
Yes.
watched those, and I know I'm gonna love them. So
So if you want to, just do 1, 2, and 3
yeah,
for this week because you're just coming off the Blackwell Ghost. Paranormal Activity is kind of like the Blackwell Ghost, so why just not go into those?
and I think going forward with this channel, like that's what we decided was like you are gonna do more of the gore side of things, and I'm going to do more of the like paranormal, ghost, aliens, that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm really excited to watch the Paranormal Activity.
But guys, with that being said, that is this week's that is it for this week's episode of the Horror and Gore Horror Movie Podcast. So if you guys are listening to the audio version, leave us 5 stars, preferably.
Please, we love
Um,
you.
and also if you guys are new here, hit that follow button. It would tell you guys whenever we post new episodes. There should be notifications if you guys already got notifications enabled. Follow us on our social medias. We're on Instagram and TikTok right now. So definitely go check out there.
And
Um,
come hang out with us on there.
and if you want to, I do lives every 3 days a week. So if you guys want to
Oh,
hop in there, um, because Lindsay is going to finish up the ghost face crochet.
yes, I'm going to finish my Ghostface plushie this week on our live. So if you want to tune into that, that'd be fun.
But if you want to, the links are down below for my TikTok. If you guys want to just go follow me there to stick up to actually not stick up to stay with the lives. But if you guys are listening to or watching the video version, hit that like button. Let us know down in the comments in either section what you guys thought of Terrifier 3. Is it your favorite franchise? Is it your least favorite franchise? And if you guys got any movie recommendations for us that we can put on our list for next week, just put them down in the comments also. But also hit that subscribe button if you guys haven't yet to stick with us. Turn on the bell for notification because it will tell you guys when we post episodes and reels, which there's an upcoming reel for Terrifier 3 that I think you guys will absolutely love.
I'm so embarrassed.
I think you guys will love it, but stay tuned for that. But guys, with that being said, I hope you guys have a great day, week, and I'll see you guys next Tuesday.
Bye.